What a week. What a week for the IPL. What a week for our country. It's been a tough week for a lot of us. I know the IPL sort of had a stop and start engagement. We're still looking for news around the IPL. We've just come out a very tough situation with a neighboring country. Most importantly, I hope each and every one of you are safe. I know the IPL continues in some form very soon. Let's back our forces for sure. And let's back the entertainment that we're supposed to have with everything safe and sound. Welcome to yet another show of the Gully Talk. And I'm sure I will be having Saru with me very soon. But till then, a small message for each and every one of you to stay safe. We are safe because of our forces, and we must thank them for each and everything that they've done. With that, let me introduce Saru again. Hey, Saru.
Hey, Abhishek. That's a lovely message, and I think so needed in these current times that we are in.
Absolutely. Thank you. I hope you're safe. I know we haven't spoken for a very long time, but things have been safe, all thanks to our forces.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure a lot of people will be waiting for the playoffs, considering a lot of teams from the erstwhile lower down the order have come up towards finally getting a playoff position. So great to see them really do great stuff in testing times. But then the IPL will continue, we're pretty sure. And starting with, who do you want to start with? Mumbai? What do you feel the chances are? I know you've already put them in the playoffs in the last episode. So any changes there?
Let's discuss the teams. But I think before the teams, I know these are tough times, but I think the brighter side is that if we are in a situation that we can actually have the IPL, which is a good thing because that means things are looking good for us as a country. And and of course, I think IPL is again an event which brings a lot of happiness to people.
Correct.
So the teams, I guess, it boils down to the 5 teams. It's more of a, should I say, more of a formality for GT, RCB, and actually GT and RCB. I think Punjab, Delhi, and Mumbai are going to probably fight it out for those 2 spots.
Right.
And GT, in fact, is ahead of RCB by run rate. Yeah.
By run rate. Oh, yes, that's correct. So I think GT definitely has a chance. And RCB, considering this year's form, they've been really right up there. I know they're missing the services of Hazelwood. That's what I've been hearing. So we missed the services of Hazelwood, considering that he flew back to Australia, and he's carrying a niggle apparently in his shoulder. So that's something that RCB has to be very wary of.
Yeah, the Australian players will be a big miss, especially for someone like Delhi, because they're still there, struggling for that spot.
Correct.
And Delhi is a team, barring Stark and Kuldeep, their bowling has not been that good, especially between Mohit, Natarajan, Mukesh, all of that. So I think they will really miss the services of Stark. And I think we can all take it for definitely take it for sure that Hazelwood and Stark or any of the Australian players will not be available.
Yeah, looks like that for sure. Though I did hear some news about Ricky Ponting jumping off the plane and saying that I'm back with the Punjab team. So I hope that rubs off to other Australian players. But then they have to look after their safety. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. In fact, apparently he's also goading the other players to kind of stay back and put their travel plans on hold till things move forward and dates are finalized.
Fantastic. I think he's reserved a award for himself after the completion of this tournament for sure. But great to see that spirit, that Aussie never say die spirit is something very essential in these times.
Yeah. I wonder what Ricky Ponting about 10 years ago would have been like, though, in this situation.
10 years, of course. No, I don't. Those are probably he's become more statesman sort of, more someone who likes to lead by example. Though I think he did that very well when he was captaining Australia too. But times have changed, so and maybe a little bit of cricketing muscle power is on this side of the fence. So that could be also a decision point.
Yeah, yeah. They are talking about leading by example. I think the GT batters are leading by example. In the top five,
Wow.
there's
Oh my
Sai
goodness.
Sudarshan, there is Butler, and there is Gill. So they're
Can
right
you
there.
imagine Gill? Yeah, talking about Gill, there's a lot of chatter around him taking up some captaincy of the Whites. So I think Gill's in prime form. Sai Sudarshan definitely has to, if he doesn't finish at least in the top three or top two in the IPL, or maybe even if he lifts it, I think I'll be very surprised because seems to be in prime form of his life.
In fact, in the bowlers, I think in the top five there is Prasidh Krishna. Of course, there's Hazelwood, which may
Oh,
not
yeah.
be of much of consequence for RCB at this
Correct.
point.
Correct.
There's Bolt, considering he doesn't play international cricket anymore, so that will be good news for
Hmm.
us
True.
because he's
True.
going to be there. And of course, the other two are Noor and Varun Chakravarti. I really doubt KKR has even a mathematical chance right now at this point of time.
Yeah, it's very surprising that KKR lost that match with CSK. I mean, very, very surprising. But yeah, it was good to see Dhoni finishing off things in style. But
Yeah,
it would have helped KKR much better if they would have got over the line.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's one match where nobody had any complaints from Dhoni. Uh,
That was a flawless CSK performance.
yeah,
They give you ups and downs, but somehow they triumph. It's like
yeah,
the CSK of the earlier of the 2010s and the 20 first part of the 2020s.
yeah. Yeah. So I think the CSK has a couple of matches in the last leg. There's a CSK versus RR, and there's GT versus CSK. These matches could be important, especially for CSK and teams like RR, which are right there at the bottom of the table, just to look at the
Right.
future uh, in terms of what their combination would be and what their plans will be in the mini auction.
Mini auction next year. And a special mention for those new kids in the block, especially Matre for sure. We had spoken about him, but also like the pairings of whatever I saw with Urvil Patel.
Urvil Patel.
Has a range of shots. Seem to be someone CSK should definitely invest in. But I think he's got to a couple of years. I mean, he was taken up for this year. He should be considered in the year ahead too. So some
Yeah.
good signs there. And CSK, of course, is in the rebuilding phase. We've been talking about that. Uh, but apparently, they still say that Dhoni will be playing next year. So
Yeah. No, so I was actually thinking, I think we're a little harsh on our heroes.
yeah,
Uh,
sometimes we
you
are. Sometimes we are. I have to agree.
Yeah, because the way I see it with CSK, I mean, considering we're talking about CSK, is that as long as Dhoni is in the scheme of things, it honestly does not make sense to have somebody else as a captain.
No,
Uh,
definitely not.
yeah, and that's where they probably missed a little bit of a trick. And in these times, I don't think anybody needs to be really mentored or groomed to be a captain. Everybody is captaining at some level or the other.
Absolutely
Uh,
right. I mean, I've always tried to wonder. Of course, if we were in the early 2010s, you would have definitely wanted a young kid on the block being mentored by someone who has 2 decades of experience. But we're in times where a lot of these kids who've come into playing T20 cricket are digital natives,
yeah,
come with having watched some very good players lead teams. And I mean, talking about Rajat Patil, he has led a domestic team and extremely well. So I think this grooming stuff,
yeah,
maybe it's been talked about too much. Nowadays, it's about plug and play and start your work.
yeah,
So probably we eliminate it. Probably we just give someone the space to go ahead, explore, and be yourself. And
yeah.
that is where probably whenever the Swan Song or the Dhoni chapter comes to a probable conclusion, they will have a lot of players who will be ready to take up the reins of CSK's leadership.
Yeah, yeah. But for now, I guess they will continue with
They will.
Ruturaj.
They will. I think
They
it's Rituraj will be a continuation. Dhoni
Yeah,
will be in the dugout. Stephen Fleming will be behind him. So it looks like at least the next 2 years is what they were saying. It'll be
yeah,
like this. Probably before that they might win a title also. So you never know. Never count them off. Never count them off.
yeah. So that's about CSK. Well,
Uh,
yeah.
so bit pained about RR. They had so much promise,
Hmm.
fizzling out like they've been doing for the past 17 years, barring a couple of years in between. A bit sad about that. I was really peaked when I saw that 14-year-old play that innings, but then after that it's just been 0-1 and etc. Bit pained by that.
Yeah, I think
But
with
that's how.
CSK, if you compare RR and CSK, the mm, not even silver lining, and more than a silver lining is, I think you do see that there are quite a lot of youngsters. It's another story that the management decided not to play them. Be
Yeah,
it
that's
Brashis, be it Patel, or be it Rashid, the Kamboj, so many of them. But if you
yeah,
see with RR, I think they sort of messed it up in a way that even they don't have much of bench strength.
yeah,
Uh,
true.
so, and all their batters are again, top order batsmen. So if there's a Vaibhav,
Correct.
there's Sadhu, there's Yashasvi, all fighting for the top order. Dhruv Jurel again also sort of cannot really come after the two down. Nothing
I think
after.
their oddities are they have all opening batsmen, a lot of opening batsmen in that lineup
Yeah,
who are not very comfortable in playing a one down or a two down or the number six or number five position. So that's a very peculiar situation to have.
yeah, and a very poor bowling lineup.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. I know
so
Tushar Pandey was taken to the cleaners, but they still persisted with him.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think we should do another maybe an exclusive episode
For
with
the
how.
wooden spoon. Yeah, for the wooden
Yeah,
spoon
not
ones.
just
Correct.
student team, I think all the other teams in terms of what they would be looking at in the future,
Yes,
especially the other six teams, in
correct.
terms of how the changes that they can do in the mini auction, and maybe change of captain for some of the teams. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So all everything looks good. I think there are two important matches. Considering I think the Punjab Delhi match will probably be replayed.
Yes, replayed from ball one is what I've been hearing. Correct.
Punjab Delhi and Punjab Mumbai. Then Mumbai has an important match with Delhi, and Delhi,
Oh
of
yeah.
course, all important match with Gujarat. I think these four will be the crucial matches, and it boils
Do you
down
see
to,
Delhi? Do you see Delhi making it
yeah, this kind of lost.
mathematically? Not
They lost
mathematically.
the game. Now with Stark going out, it
Yeah.
makes it more difficult for them because their bowling suddenly has gone a
Yeah.
little bit weak. So yeah, so Delhi might struggle. I think GTRCB will end up top of the table, one and
For
two,
sure.
with mostly Mumbai and
Mumbai at
Mumbai,
three. Looks like Mumbai will finish three.
yeah, Mumbai and Punjab.
Punjab as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and Punjab is of course looking good. That innings from Prabh Simran in that match which got abandoned.
Yeah. I think Prabh was. I think brilliant thing about him is that if he gets it in his arc, he sort of swings and
Hmm.
swings very hard. So that's very nice.
He's probably the only Indian wicketkeeper batsman who's done well in this.
In this particular edition, yes, yes, I have to agree with you.
Yeah, so you might have
Right.
a
So the
new.
playoffs, we are looking at GT, we're looking at RCB, we're looking at MI, and we're looking at Punjab. So
Punjab. Yeah,
that's
if you're
one,
a
two,
Delhi
three.
fan, you'll be quite disappointed because they sort of look like they'll be somewhere in the top two. So
Yeah.
just need to see how that pans out.
Yeah. Barring any sudden changes where they lose by 100 runs, I think these four will make it come what may. Right.
Yeah, and it will also be interesting to see how RCB will manage the rest of the matches, especially the crunch matches of playoffs
Yeah.
without
That's where they
Hazelwood.
always stutter, right? The
Scheme,
crunch.
such a huge part of their scheme of things.
Yeah.
Hazelwood.
Also, I heard a lot of these matches will be played in specific venues, so there won't be a lot of traveling. So that might be advantages sometimes. Uh, Looks like because the final we might have a new venue for the final. That's because of the upcoming monsoons. So let's see about that. Then a very wise person once told me that you must move on. So we all move on with by remembering the people who have been pained by by whatever has happened, and we hope the cricketers sort of embalm us with some good performances.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, I hope we are in a safe space and we continue to be safe. And all our respects to everybody who's right there, being brave and fighting for all of us who are sitting at home safely. So thank you. And
Oh, thank you. And I think it merits a Jai Hind from each and every one of us for everything that's happened.
yes, yes. So Jai Hind. We'll see
Jai
you with
Hind.
another episode of Gully Talk. Till then, please like, share, and subscribe to Gully Talk. And more importantly, stay safe. Take care.
Bye bye.